Imagine this. You are 26 years old. Just 3 days ago you watched your husband die defending the walls of your city against Spartan warriors. Now you stand in the ruins of your home, clutching your 3 young children, trying desperately to make yourself invisible as Spartan officers walk among the surviving women, inspecting them like livestock at a market. An officer stops in front of you, asks your age and whether these children are yours. Your voice is barely a whisper as you answer. He marks his wax tablet and moves on without a word. That same evening soldiers rip your children from your arms. Your 3-year-old son screams for you, struggling to run back as you are marched away with 200 other women. You look over your shoulder, trying to memorize their faces, not knowing if you will ever see them again. This is where your nightmare truly begins, and compared to what lies ahead, death would have been a mercy. This is Crown and Dagger, where we explore the darkest chapters of history that others refuse to touch. What you are about to hear will forever change how you understand ancient warfare and why the wives of defeated warriors faced fates that ancient writers described as worse than death itself. Hit subscribe and smash that like button right now, because this story needs to be told. To understand what happened to these women, you must first understand what Sparta truly was. While Athens built democracy and spread culture across the Mediterranean, hiding its own atrocities behind a mask of civilization, Sparta was brutally honest about its nature. It was a war machine. Boys were taken from their families at age 7 and placed in the agoge, where pain, obedience, and violence became their only teachers. Weak infants were left to die. Individual identity was crushed. You were Spartan first, human second. At the heart of everything was the Helot system, a vast population of enslaved people outnumbering the Spartans 10-1. The Helots worked the land so that Spartan citizens could devote every moment to warfare. The Spartans lived in constant terror of them, always one rebellion away from annihilation. This fear shaped every decision they made. Sparta understood something other Greek cities never fully grasped. To destroy an enemy forever, killing the warriors is not enough. You must target their women, control reproduction, erase identity, and ensure the next generation serves you instead of seeking revenge. When Sparta conquered a city, the violence was never random. It was coldly systematic. Commanders assessed captured women with the same precision they used for infantry, noting age, fertility, and status, then sorting them into categories based on how they would be used. For women from the ruling class, wives and daughters of enemy leaders, Sparta had very specific plans. They were assigned by state decree as wives to Spartan citizens. Picture this: your husband was a respected city leader and warrior. 3 weeks earlier he commanded men in battle. Now he lies dead, killed by Spartans, and you stand in a public ceremony dressed in wedding garments, formally married to one of the men who destroyed your world. Everyone present knew exactly what this was: conquest dressed as marriage. After the ceremony you were taken to your new husband's household, expected to manage the home, bear children, raise them as Spartans, and watch them grow up to fight against any survivors of your own city. Ancient sources called this fate worse than death because it forced active participation in the destruction of your own culture. Most captured women faced a simpler but equally brutal fate. They became Helots. The Helot system was the foundation of Spartan power. These state-owned slaves worked the land, produced food and goods, and performed every task that allowed Spartan citizens to focus solely on war. Helot status was hereditary. Once enslaved, your children, grandchildren, and every future generation remained enslaved forever. Life as a female Helot meant grinding labor in the fields, endless work in households and workshops, and constant terror. The Cryptii, young Spartan men sent to hunt and kill any Helot who showed strength or leadership, made sure no one ever forgot their place. After major victories, captured women were paraded as living trophies through Spartan territory. Prominent women were stripped of their fine clothes, dressed as servants, and marched through the streets while citizens jeered. Even Spartan women joined in the mockery, adding another layer of degradation. These displays were strategic. They sent a clear message to every Greek city: resist us and your wives and daughters will suffer public humiliation beyond defeat itself. Real examples remain. During the Messenian Wars, the entire Messenian population was reduced to helots. During the Peloponnesian War, after the Battle of Mantinea in 418 BCE, defeated women of childbearing age were torn from their children and marched to Sparta amid heart-wrenching screams. Spartans justified it all through ideology and religion. They believed their dominance was divinely ordained. Yet the system carried the seeds of its own destruction. When Sparta lost dominance in the 4th century BCE, the deep resentment created by centuries of systematic cruelty meant almost no one was willing to help them.